Man, what is going on, guys? We are back here today with another What Happened to Pokemon video. It's been a while since I did the last one. I think that was Talonflame, and I just popped the Talonflame live, so I figured, why not do another one of these videos? Which one should I do? And I figured Dragonite would be a great pick because, I mean, this Pokemon has been around for, what, every generation, right? And it's been different in every generation, and in the last two generations, 6 and 7, it's sort of fallen from grace from when it was so great in, Gen 4 and Gen 5. So I figured, want to talk about it. Dragonite, that's a fan favorite mon, one of my favorites as well. Has amazing stats, typing, all that good stuff, and yet somehow we don't see it too much. So I figured, damn, I already popped the Dragonite live a few days ago, so I might as well talk about, what happened to this thing, how it fall from grace, and let's just pop right into it. So first off, let's talk about what Dragonite used to do in the other generations. So Gen 1 and Gen 2, I think it used like rap and stuff. Honestly, don't quote me, I don't play too much. Gen 3, I think it got DD. I've seen some HP flying. I've seen some Thunder Wave, Fire Blast stuff, whatever. Gen 4, you saw a lot of Dragon Dance Dragonite, and you also saw a lot of mixed and choice banded Dragonite. That's when you started seeing the more common sets that people remember. So like, just looking at the Dragonites I have in Gen 4, see, Choice Band was one I used to run a lot. I don't even have speed on this. I forgot to EV the speed. I just gave it a tag. That's a real man. Oh my god, that's so stupid. Then I have this Dragonite as well. So let's see. This is Dragon Dance Roost Life Orb. You could run very different Dragonites starting in Gen 4 because people were running Banded. People would run. So this is see, all mine were Choice Band and Sleep Talk for Breloom. I had ran Mix a few times as well, but for the most part, I really liked CB. Yeah, I think that's the one I use on like every single time. But yeah, so Gen 4 is when it got introduced to using all different types of mix sets, and it became seen as a premier wall breaker. Then Gen 5 OU came around, and Dragonite is still pretty decent in this generation. The mix set kind of disappeared in Gen 5. And that's because there were just better attackers to do it, and mixed attackers have been going down in terms of viability as the generation goes on. Like, that's something people notice. Like, mixed attackers aren't that good. That's why stuff like Infernape, which was such a savage in Gen 4 with its mixed set, is completely irrelevant in Gen 5 and on because it can't really break anything. Because things just got bulkier and typings got better. But in Gen 5, Dragonite could be seen running its classic Choice Band. I love Choice Band Dragonite, bro. That's like my favorite mon. I had a lot of Choice Band D-Knight teams I had used in different tournament games in Black White. And then it also uses Sub DD, which I've also used this set a good amount of times and uploaded with it. Very, very potent set, especially with Magnezone in Gen 5. And then Gen 6 came along, and, Dragonite really fell out of favor. I don't think I have any Dragonite teams. I do not. And the only real Dragonite you would see in Gen 6 was Sub Dragon Dance Roost Fly. And that set is not seen too much anymore, but that set is actually not too bad. It's definitely viable still. I remember my buddy Bengay won with it a couple months ago in tournament. He had like a offense team that was curated towards pulling off a Dragonite sweep, and it worked. So Sub DD Fly is not too bad. And now we're in Gen 7 where we only really see Dragonite with a Z-move set because that's the best toy it got, Z-move Fly. So now that we got the backstory on this thing, let's talk about what it does in Gen 7, why it's not as good as it used to be, and basically how you can get the most out of this Pokemon. So this is the premier set we're usually going to see. Dragon Dance, Fly, Extreme Speed, Earthquake. This basically gives Dragonite the best coverage it can get. And then Z-Fly is, of course, the nuke, very high base power, Supersonic Sky Strike, usually off +1 that'll kill mainly any neutral resist. Even max defense Toxapex will die after rocks and stuff like that. And then you have Earthquake to just round off the coverage. Extreme Speed I just had because whatever, you could probably run Fire Punch or whatever. Dragon coverage is unnecessary though. Which is kind of interesting. You see this on Salamence as well. Salamence runs Dragon Dance Fly E-Speed. I mean, not E-Speed. They run Dragon Dance Fly Earthquake Substitute. Because again, the Dragon coverage is just not necessary. I have also run Roost instead of Extreme Speed, and this is actually a really great set. And actually, in the Dragonite video I did, I think it's called like I Get Mad Trying to Use Dragonite. Go check that video out if you haven't seen it. I'll put it in the whatever on the video somewhere. But in that video, I ran this set, Dragon Dance Roost Fly Earthquake, and this set put in a lot of work for me. Because Dragonite still does have multi-scale, which helps it take a lot of these attacks. Like Kartana, for example, is it's a really strong mon, but Dragonite can at least take a one hit from most of these Pokemon with multi-scale intact. Same with stuff like Greninja. You can take a Dark Pulse, etc., etc. You can even take a Specs Lele Moonblast with multi-scale up. So a lot of the time, Dragonite is kind of cool that it can just go for a Z-Fly and knock something out because multi-scale lets it, live. So at one point I even theorized, why don't I use like a mixed Dragonite? And of course I've used that type of stuff in Hita Fajita. And like I said, the mixed attacker set is not that good anymore. But I feel like a 4-attack Z-Fly set could put in work. But more often than not, you just want to have the option of Dragon Dance because then you could potentially just sweep and you can still make use of the attack boost versus balance. So in general, you always want to have Dragon Dance rather than a 4 attack set, even if that does sound kind of nice. Because again, with multi-scale and Z-Fly, you usually almost always guarantee a kill. Other sets besides this, I know Jam, when me and him use Dragonite, his is the exact same set as this, except he has leftovers instead of Fly Z, which will help with attaining multi-scale more, but I really do like this Z-Fly nuke. It's just nice. Plus, if you don't have the Z-Fly, stuff like +1 Fly could like fail to kill Latias. You get Thunderwave, Ice Beam. Just in general, I don't know, I don't like it. Having the +1 Z-Fly insta-kill is just very blessed a lot of the time. So these are basically the two sets that outrun the most. I do not think Bandit is worth it because there's nothing to make. You can't click any move. Like, you can't outrage anymore in this game, which is hilarious. You literally can't outrage anymore because of all the fairies and stuff. So that move is nuked. He has no flying move because you can't run Choice Bandit Fly. And then there's only Extreme Speed, Earthquake, Fire Punch. Just not too many options. These are really the only two good Dragonites, I'd say. And so for teams, the only team I have on my computer with Dragonite, oh shit, did I just restart? Whatever. The only teams I have with Dragonite are that stupid Sun team, and then I think that's it. But the other team that I had used, I remember, I can just build it right here, was a team, it looked like this. It was Weavile, Landorus, Dragonite, Tapu Fini, and then two other clowns. Oh yeah, Magnezone, and then some other shit. So basically the way this team worked was that Magnezone would trap most of the annoying steel types. The most of the annoying steel types basically just meaning Celesteela, which is the premier way to deal with Dragonite. But Celesteela can lose to the Ruse D-Knight. If we're leftovers D-Knight, you can beat the Celesteela. But Heavy Slime does do a decent amount because Dragonite's Fizz Def is not as good as its special defense. But yeah, this is basically a team I used just based around support for Dragonite. Honestly, Tapu Fini, you know, defog removal. Weavile to get rid of other dragons because we don't have a dragon move for them. Oh yeah, the last one I had was Diancie on this team, right, because I was a rocker. So that was just like a little base team I used. If you want to go for a Dragonite build, this is something you could use. But yeah, this is what I used in my video, and it worked decently enough. But let's go through the tier now and just see how Dragonite matches up versus most of these Pokemon. So you can see a traditional offense team, like it has the tools to break through Dragonite, obviously, but a lot of the time you can for sure force a kill with Dragonite. Like look at for example versus all these mons. You can Z-Fly, kill Greninja and Landorus T, Earthquake the other two. Magearna like gets 2-hit killed by Earthquake very solidly because, I mean, Dragonite still has 134 base attack, right? And I run Adamant, I don't run Jolly. So you have 403 attack at +1, that's 604. And, you know, that's very damn strong. With Rocks Up, you're really able to just smash stuff like Magearna. Ferrothorn, +1 Z-Fly is going to kill it because they're all Spadef these days. Zam, I mean, they'll trace your multi-scale and they're still going to be faster than you even if you're +1. But Z-Fly will kill this thing regardless. Yeah, and then if it lives because of multi-scale, you have extreme speed. Garchomp, if multi-scale is in tag, you beat that. Kartana, really wall this thing if it's not Smart Strike, but otherwise you gotta watch out for Z-Giga Impact and shit like that. Mawile, again, you have the Earthquake coverage, so you can see that this mon is able to 1v1 almost everything, which is very nice. I mean, there are some matchups where it'll be annoying, where you'll have a, like, not that it'll be annoying Dragonite, but Pokemon will be annoying to Dragonite. Like for example, if rocks are up, it's going to be very hard for you to get as much as you want on a Dragonite because a lot of the time versus an offense, you just need Dragonite to live that one attack and just put in just a little bit of work. If it's not able to get off at least one Z-Fly or Earthquake on a super effective Steel or something like that, I don't know, it's kind of tough. But other than that, you can see most of these Pokemon can't really deal with the coverage. I mean, Zapdos can obviously, but for the most part, that's just hard for Pokemon to deal with Dragonite's coverage. And that's offensive flying moves in general. We've seen that with Tornadus and we've seen that with Salamence as well, since I've already used both of those Pokemon a ton and seen both of them a ton in the metagame, quite recently in fact. But yeah, flying coverage in general when combined with ground is just really tough, and I mean, we can see that here. Basically the tier isn't really well suited to dealing with the Z-Fly. Nothing can really take the combination. So basically what I'm trying to say with that, oh I guess Aggron can. But basically what I'm trying to say about this Pokemon is that it's not actually as bad as I thought after having tested it a bit. While it did certainly fall off from how good it used to be in you know, the other gens, it's still definitely viable, which is funny because it really didn't see any use in the beginning of the generation. People were just like, oh, okay, whatever, it has a Z move, blah blah, it's for fun. I actually had a Dragonite team in the very beginning of the generation. It was like D-Knight, it was double Z move. It was like D-Knight, Salamence, Greninja, Tapu Fini, Ferrothorn, Landorus T. One of the first teams ever. I think I made it with someone, or I don't even remember, but that was a double Dragon Dance team, and I had double Z move. I had Z move on the D-Knight, and I had Z move on the immense, and then one of them would just sweep, and that was really cool. In the beginning I thought that was awesome, but then as time went on, people really just stopped using Dragonite. It just wasn't the pick. It just wasn't right for the meta at the time. And even now, it's not like this mon is like a top tier threat. It's not like you look at your team and you're like, oh shit, I'm smashed by Dragonite, whatever. Like, that's not gonna happen. But this mon can always, I think, get a kill versus the majority of teams, especially with the support I had with Magnezone. I think Magnezone plus Dragonite is pretty underexplored core. So let me know what you guys think. Definitely try this thing on the ladder. Tell me the success you guys have with it. I have fun making this video. Let me know in the comments below what next Pokemon you want to see me do. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.